marble in the executive hallway smells like lemon polish and old money. Lorraine's sneakers barely make a sound as she walks, dragging the commercial vacuum behind her. 42 a.m. She's been here since 5. Third morning this week, and she hasn't said a word to anyone. She doesn't need to. The building talks enough on its own, and with every miss, that's not your elevator. Or you can come back after the meeting is over. In this place, her name is printed on a badge clipped to her chest, but no one ever looks at it. Today feels different. The office on the 33rd floor is unusually still. No chatter, no phones, just a buzz. Low, under the skin. She opens the glass door to the main suite and stops. The safe. It's open. Big, steel, and half lit by the morning sun creeping through the blinds. Inside, stacks of money. Rolex box, a folder thick with documents. It looks like something out of a movie. But it's real, and she's the only one in the room. Her hand tightens around the vacuum handle. She doesn't move. Then she sees it. Right by the safe, nestled in the carpet. A tiny silver ring, probably someone's engagement band. Slim. Polished, clean. She kneels, picks it up gently, and looks around. Nothing but silence. But she knows she's not alone. She looks up, to the corner of the ceiling, a small black dome. And inside, a blinking red light. Of course, a test, a trap. Someone, and she knows exactly who, is watching. He didn't leave that safe open by mistake. Yesterday afternoon, she was wiping down the hallway outside conference room B when Mr. Danvers walked past. He didn't say good evening, didn't even nod. Just paused, turned, and muttered without eye contact. You left a rag in the boardroom. Don't make a habit of that. It wasn't her rag. She didn't even clean that section, but she said nothing. Picked it up and left. She knows Danvers. The managing partner. Drives a matte black Porsche that parks across 2 spaces. Talks to people without ever using their name. He has that permanent tone in his voice. The kind that says, you should be grateful we let you in this building at all. This morning, he'd left the safe open, on purpose, with everything inside laid out like bait. And now Lorraine is standing in front of it, a ring in one hand, vacuum in the other, and that red light blinking above her like a pulse. Her heart thumps in her chest. Not from fear, from rage, not because he thinks she might steal, but because he never once believed she wouldn't. She places the silver ring gently on the ledge of the safe, then steps back. She doesn't slam the door shut. She doesn't even touch it. Instead, she takes a slow breath. Turns off the vacuum, walks toward the hallway, then stops. She reaches into her cleaning cart, lifts up the dustpan, and slides out a single sheet of paper. Folded once, clean, crisp. She holds it in her hand, walks back to the safe. Pauses, then kneels, and places the sheet just under the metal rim of the safe, barely visible unless you're looking. She stands, looks up at the red light, and whispers, just loud enough for the mic to catch it. Let's see what you do with this. Then she turns, walks out of the office. No rush, no drama, no words. In the lobby, the receptionist gives her a weird look. The security guard straightens up as she approaches the elevators. Miss, Mr. Danvers would like to see you upstairs, right away. She just nods. Steps inside the elevator, the doors close. Alone in the lift, she exhales. Not from stress, from calculation. She's not here to be proven innocent. She's here to watch them fail their own test. Upstairs, the temperature drops. In the main office, 2 men in suits sit at the conference table. One flipping through papers, the other sipping black coffee from a tiny cup. They don't smile, they don't stand. Mr. Danvers is at the head of the table clicking a remote. He doesn't say good morning, doesn't ask her to sit. Play it from 7:03, he says flatly. A large screen blinks to life. The surveillance feed, the moment she walks into the room. Vacuum, ring, safe. Pause. They all watch her, and then comes the moment. She bends down, reaches into her cart, pulls out that folded sheet. Danvers leans forward. He sees it. So do the lawyers. One of them smiles. The other scribbles something. She doesn't blink. Let me guess, Danvers says with a smug smirk. You were just going to recycle that paper? Lorraine stares at him. She opens her bag, reaches in, and pulls out the exact same piece of paper. She lays it on the table, unfolds it, then folds her arms. Says nothing. The paper lies in the center of the table, unfolded. Smooth. No creases except the one she made. Danvers doesn't touch it. He just stares. Like it's a puzzle missing a piece. Mind telling us what this is? He asks, with a voice dipped in politeness and coated in threat. Lorraine doesn't flinch. She looks at the document. Not at him, then speaks, calm and low. You already know. The lawyers shift in their chairs. One of them, the younger one, leans over to read it. His eyes stop moving halfway through. Suddenly, he's not smirking anymore. Danvers doesn't look at the paper. He keeps looking at Lorraine like he's trying to catch her blinking. I left that safe open as a test, he says slowly. You failed it. I didn't take anything, she says. Didn't you? He gestures toward the screen again. The footage rewinds. Plays from the moment she takes the paper and tucks it beneath the vacuum. Silent. Clean. Precise. Intent to remove company property, Danvers recites. Whether valuable or not. That's grounds for dismissal. Section 8C. The older lawyer nods, but the younger one clears his throat, hesitant. Maybe. We should ask what she was planning to do with it. Danvers snaps his gaze to him. That look, the kind bosses give when someone forgets the script. You think this is up for debate? He turns back to Lorraine. You people always think you're smarter than the system. Ah, there it is. No more pretending. No more polite tones. The mask slips. You people. 2 words heavy with centuries of assumption. Lorraine doesn't respond. She's done playing his game. Instead, she walks to the desk, picks up the paper, and reads it aloud, slowly. Letter of resignation, effective immediately. Signed, Veronica Sloan. Silence. Then she flips it over. Except Veronica never resigned. The younger lawyer's head jerks up. Wait. What? Lorraine turns to him. She cried in the supply closet last week. Said she didn't know what happened. HR told her she quit, but she didn't. She looks back at Danvers. This was in the shred bin outside your office, with yesterday's timestamp. Now the older lawyer is blinking. Danvers leans back in his chair. That smug smirk has stiffened. Hardened. You're overstepping, he says. I'm cleaning up, she replies. Her voice isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. The power in the room has shifted, and they all feel it. Danvers tries to regroup. Even if this were true, it's not your business. You're not HR. You're not management. Exactly, Lorraine says. So why am I the only one who noticed? That lands like a hammer. For a moment, nobody speaks. Then the younger lawyer slowly pulls out his phone, taps the screen, looks down, looks up. She's right, he mutters. Veronica never signed this. Danvers shoots him a look that could curdle milk. We're not going to start believing the janitorial staff over? The camera caught it, Lorraine interrupts. Same one you used to watch me. She takes out a USB stick. I downloaded the feed. Your assistant printed that letter, you signed it, without her knowing. Boom. Now the lawyers are sitting up straight. The older one whispers something to the younger. Danvers is pale, visibly sweating. He reaches for the paper like he's going to tear it. Lorraine puts her hand down on it first. This doesn't disappear, she says. You're bluffing. Try me. In the hallway, the receptionist watches from her desk. Whispers ripple through the cubicles. People pretending not to listen are listening to everything. The rumor spreads like fire. She caught him, on camera. The maid. Danvers leans forward, elbows on the table, staring at Lorraine like she's a glitch in his carefully coded system. What do you want? He asks finally. Lorraine just looks at him, and for the first time she lets him see it. Not fear, not anger. Clarity. What I want, she says, is for you to stop assuming who I am based on what I wear. She picks up the paper, puts it back in her bag, and walks out. Not rushed, not flustered, just done. She doesn't look back. Lorraine walks out of that boardroom like she's closing the door on something far older than this job, older than the office, older than Danvers. She walks like every step has purpose, like she's carrying all the time someone said, "Stay in your place." And now she's decided what her place is. Behind her, silence. No footsteps, no yelling, just stunned corporate air, the kind that doesn't know what to do when the script changes mid-scene. The elevator dings. She steps in, presses G doors close. Alone again, she exhales. Not relief. Release. Downstairs, the office buzz is no longer about stocks or strategies. It's about her. The maid. The cleaning lady. The one who walked into the lion's den and handed the lion its own tail. One intern whispers to another, "Is it true she had footage? Like, real footage?" Someone else murmurs, "I heard she saved that girl's job. The assistant. The one who cried in HR." In the space of 10 minutes, Lorraine has gone from invisible to unignorable. But she didn't do it to be seen. She did it because silence has a cost, and for too long, she'd been the one paying it. She steps out of the elevator and walks through the lobby like it's just another shift. But this time, the security guard nods to her. Not a forced smile, a real one. Even the receptionist, who never looked up from her screen before, says, "Hey, Lorraine, that was something." Lorraine just nods, keeps moving. Out the door. Into the sun. Meanwhile, upstairs, Danvers sits alone in his office. His lawyers are gone. The cameras are still rolling, but now they're watching him. He pulls out his phone, stares at it. No calls, no messages, only a news alert. Whistleblower exposes executive forgery at top NYC firm. The leak wasn't Lorraine. It was one of the interns. Young White from Yale. He posted the story anonymously an hour after Lorraine left the room. Why? Because he watched her. Watched her stay calm, stay clear, stay honest. While 3 men tried to bury a lie in paperwork, and he realized she was braver than all of them. Lorraine doesn't know about the article yet. Doesn't know that Veronica, the assistant who resigned, is already back at her desk. Or that 2 HR reps have just been called in for policy review. She doesn't care. She didn't do it to go viral. She did it because the lie was real, and someone had to say, enough. Later that night, she's on the bus ride home. Window down, breeze in her hair, the city glowing like a machine trying too hard to stay awake. A little girl across the aisle looks at her. Not her uniform, not her shoes, just her. "Are you a teacher?" the girl asks. Lorraine smiles, shakes her head. "No, baby, I just clean things." Pause. But sometimes, the mess ain't just on the floor. Final shot. Lorraine gets off the bus, walks down a quiet street, stops at a small apartment building, unlocks the front door, steps inside. A boy, maybe 12, runs up to her, backpack on, homework in hand. "Mom, did you know they showed your picture on the news?" She chuckles, puts her arm around him. "They just caught me at the right moment." He nods, looks up at her. "You look like a superhero." She leans down. "I wasn't. I just told the truth."